Hello, my name is Maureen Kunga. I am a singer, a songwriter, and I have been on a weight loss journey with Nairobi Bariatric. So I've always been that child who's just a little bit bigger than her friends, even throughout school. But as I grew older, started to enter into this, lifestyle also changes. When you're in school, your lifestyle is so healthy. Your food is controlled, your discipline is crazy because you have to eat all the time. So I think I'll be honest and say I lacked a little bit of discipline a little earlier on in my life. So weight just started to pile on, and I got heavier and heavier. So I've struggled to lose weight quite a few times actually. When I was coming to Nairobi Bariatric, I was like, guys, help me because I've really tried to do this thing. But yeah, we've come to now a place where I was really inspired by the fact that I just really want to be healthier. And it was coming from a point of love now rather than that place where you're beating yourself down or making yourself feel like you're not doing the right thing or you don't look correct, because that used to be my motivation before. And now I think I'm just entering a sort of like self-love era where I just really want to be healthy. And it started with me figuring out how to lose the excess weight. So I actually first heard about a gastric balloon online. When I was looking for ways to lose weight, I had never imagined something that is helped by somebody else. It was never external in my mind. It was always an internal thing to do. And somewhere on social media, I just found out about the gastric balloon. I had not really considered it as something that I was going to do until I really came across Nairobi Bariatric, and I had a consultation and figured out what the best sort of steps were for me. But yeah, it was social media actually that I found out just about gastric balloons in general. So Nairobi Bariatric is really great with prepping you for any type of procedure that you want to do with them. So I came in for a consultation. We had actually gone through several weight loss options that I had available to me, and for me the gastric balloon, because I had never worked with any sort of medical professional with regard to losing weight. I was so scared to do something really intrusive. So we settled for the gastric balloon. Of course, they have several options, including just figuring out a way forward with a nutritionist, even without doing any of the gastric balloon, gastric sleeve options. So we talked through it, had a little bit of a discussion about my lifestyle, about my relationship with food, and then we went into figuring out which of the options that are available at Nairobi Bariatric would be best for me. And we settled on the gastric balloon, and so far so good. For that, you have to make sure that you don't eat for 12 hours before, because of course something is about to be inserted into your stomach. So you can't just be eating your bread and tea in the morning and then come to do a procedure. So just like any procedure, the expectation is that you don't eat from the night before. And yeah, it was so seamless. Came in, I was put under endoscopically, it was inserted, and then they woke me up and there was a balloon in my belly. Balloon has been inserted. There's going to be a period where, because there's a foreign body in your stomach, right? So there's going to be a period where your body needs to adjust to food. So you come in first of all every day for the next 3 days so that you can get saline via IV, just so that you don't get dehydrated, because it can be difficult for you to keep stuff down. So I was nauseated for about a day and a half, 2 days. So you come in every day for 3 days to get an IV drip of a saline solution just to keep hydrated. The first few days were the roughest for me because they stay clear liquids, so broth, soup, water. So I couldn't really eat for the first 3 days, which of course is more difficult mentally than physically, because you're not hungry, So it's just mentally you're telling yourself, Yanni, I'm not eating anything, But that's just for the first 3 days, and then now we move into liquids that are a little thicker, yogurts, smoothies, etc. And then now semi-solid food and then solid food. So the great thing is also there's a nutritionist on standby and a little pamphlet that really breaks down this is what you're supposed to do from day 0 to 5, day 5 to 15 and onwards. Gastric balloon, I lost 17 kilograms, 18 kilograms, which was really important. That's a whole toddler, guys. That's a whole human child. So already it's so much easier to move around, to now also get into that gym life and moving your body more, because when you've lost a lot of weight like that and that excess weight, it's so much easier to move around and do stuff. So 18 kilos and counting. So one of the greatest things that Nairobi Bariatric offers. Well, in my opinion, there are many great things, but one of the greatest things that they offer is psychotherapy sessions, which for me took the form of like a one-on-one meeting with a psychotherapist to really understand your relationship with food. Why do you eat the way you eat? How do you feel when you, because some people end up being binge eaters, people are emotional eaters, people just have healthy habits that unhealthy habits that they learned when they were children, and I was a bit of all of those things. So it was really just important to be able to sit with someone and understand the relationship that I have with food. And I think that once you understand something, it becomes so much easier to conquer, because we have some habits that we don't even realize where they started or where they came from, so it's so difficult to break. So Nairobi Bariatric offers a psychotherapy option, and it's really so helpful, or it was so helpful for me, because it really changed my mindset about food, figuring out what's healthy and what's not healthy and why I do the things that I do. So yeah, actually, congratulations Nairobi Bariatric for that. That really helped me. I did have a lot of support throughout this journey. So for one is the psychotherapist option here, the dietitian or nutritionist as well here. The people here are lovely and we're always on call all the time. Lucky for me, my mom and my sister really also came on board with this thing. Actually, I've changed a lot of their habits as well, funny enough. So it was really nice to have people around, and I think that's very important when someone is going through something like this, because it's quite a drastic change also over a period of time. It's really good to be able to enroll your friends or your family so that they understand. For example, you're not going to eat the same things that you used to eat. So imagine like now, when I was going to my mom's house, of course, the first few days, when I'm saying I don't want to eat specific things, she's like, you don't want to eat my food, you know, until she finally understood the journey and what it is that I was doing. And then they really like came on board. So it was so nice. I'd end up like being at home and my mom brings me like broth or soup, so that she like feels like she's, you know, encouraging me on the journey. So it was really nice to have a good support system around me.
Positive health changes that you've experienced in your journey.
So losing weight has been so truly life-changing for me. From even, like I mentioned, small things like climbing the stairs, if that changes, then everything else changes, you know. So even I can breathe better, I can walk further, I can move more. My mindset has also shifted because of also the shift in the type of food that you eat. I didn't even realize the relationship between the food that you eat and how clear your mind can be. Also things like cutting out or reducing the amount of alcohol intake changes a lot with regard to clarity of your mind. Some of these things are really good for weight loss, but also are really good for like your mental health and your just emotional state. I find myself just so much happier, you know. And one positive change that I realized even after the balloon was removed was when you conquer something, or you start the journey of conquering something that is really difficult for you, you really start thinking you can do anything, right? So that's what has happened for me. I'm like, next challenge, I can do it. So it's really had a positive impact physically, mentally, emotionally, and I just feel like a new person, you know, and ready to just conquer everything that comes my way. I think I would say to anybody who was considering the gastric balloon or any type of procedure, really, but let me talk about the gastric balloon because that's what I did. Do your research, make sure that you've consulted and understand what you're about to go through. Look for a support system. Believe in yourself and in your capacity to do it in the first place, because that's really important. And also, don't be too obsessed with the scale. Sometimes you'll find, I mean, we're human beings, and particularly women and hormones, we yo-yo sometimes. Like you can think your weight, just because of the time of the month, all of a sudden you can weigh 2 kgs more than you weighed before. So they really insist on focusing on non-scale wins, which is maybe the size of your clothes, how your face looks, how, you know, maybe your collarbone has started popping. You know, focus on those small things as well, and don't be too addicted to the scale, because you can really think you're moving backwards when you aren't. And also sometimes the mind is not your friend, so it's so easy to overthink things and to feel like this is not working, so I might as well just eat anything, you know. It is working. The fact that the balloon is in there means that there's we're going in a positive direction. So that's what I would suggest, and I would recommend to anybody who's going through this gastric balloon procedure, to achieve your goal faster, to achieve your goal in a healthy way. Like I said, there's a nutritionist on call all the time. So I would suggest to anybody who's thinking of potentially doing like dieting themselves, or just working out and diet. I mean, well and good, go ahead and do that, but do consult also with a professional first of all. But all I'm saying is the gastric balloon is a real accelerator, a real catalyst, and it really